In this video, I'll show you how to create process maps in minutes, not days. Hi, I'm Jack and I'm the founder of BA Copilot. We're the AI process mapping platform for consultants. A consultant is anyone who works on processes rather than executing them. So this could be a process consultant at Deloitte, a business analyst at Walmart, or a project manager at Citibank. We built BA Copilot to solve two problems. One, process mapping takes too long. Two, creating quality process maps which look good is difficult. In this demo, I'll show you three things. One, how to create process maps in minutes, not days. Two, how to bulk create process maps from existing documents. And three, how to present process maps to client stakeholders within the platform or in branded PDFs. So I'll start the demo now. We'll say that I own a consultancy called Apex Consulting and my name is Jack. Here we can see the view in BA Copilot for my own organization and the processes that I'm storing for Apex. I'll go to the team view now to show you all of the organizations that I manage within BA Copilot. And we can see here that I have Apex, my company, and then the first client, Globe Bank, and then the second client, the UK's National Health Service, or NHS. Marcus is a consultant in my company assigned to the NHS, and he has a collaborator role in BA Copilot, which means he can generate process maps with AI. Sarah is a consultant assigned to Globe Bank, and then Emily is the head of operations at Globe Bank, and she has viewer access to the organization within BA Copilot. So she's a client stakeholder. And then Adam is a medical director at the NHS, and he has viewer access to the NHS. So I'll show you Globe Bank now, which I've populated with some process maps, and then I'll show you how to generate these in the NHS organization. So going to Globe Bank here, we can see that there are 3 team spaces, and if I go to the first one, lending operations, I can click on process maps here and view the process maps that are in this space. So either ones that are published or that are still in a draft format. So that's a high level view of what the platform looks like populated. And now I'll go into the NHS view and populate from process maps from scratch. So to do that, I'm going to sign in as the consultant that's assigned to this project, and that is Marcus. And you'll see when I sign in that I have access to only 2 organizations. So Apex, who I work for, and the NHS, who I'm assigned to, but not Globe Bank. So I'll go to the NHS view now. And I know from the discovery work that I've done with the NHS that one of the team spaces I want to create for them is patient pathways. So I want to generate a process map to put in there, but I'm going to do it in my private space, which is called personal. And this is a place where I can work on and iterate on process maps without sharing them with anybody else. So I'll create a new chat now, and whatever chat that I have with an AI agent in here will remain only in this private space. It won't be visible to the stakeholders. So I'll prepare a prompt to put into the chat now. And this requests a process map. So I'll send this now. So it's generated 3 options for process maps. I'm actually happy with this one as it looks, so I'm not going to make any changes to it, although I could either within AI or I could do it manually here. I will ask for an analysis of the process map just to check if there's any improvements that I can make. So it's generated the suggestions here. I'll read through them, and I've decided I don't want to go ahead with any, but I do want to make a change to the process map actually, and I'm going to ask the AI to do it. So it's changed the process map to have 2 pools, and now I'm happy with it. The final thing that I want to do to the metadata is to check and add the description. So the AI has already populated a description for the process map here. I'm going to put in a cycle time of 20 minutes, and I'm going to put in an execution time for some tasks, and I'll show you later on in the video where this will be used again. So 10 minutes for one and 5 minutes for another. Okay, so I'm happy with this process map now, and I want to move it into the team space for the NHS stakeholders to be able to see. So I click copy process map, copy it into patient pathways, and mark it as published. And now we can see in the patient pathways, we have the process map, but it doesn't have the chat because that was just a means to an end and it's not something that the client wants or needs to see. So next, the team space that I want to create is for clinical operations. And for this, the client has provided an Excel document to me that has 2 processes within it. So this is the Excel document. And I'll go to the import feature now so that I can import the Excel document. So I've dragged it in here. I want the processes to be imported into my personal private space again, and I'm going to give the AI guidance on what I'm expecting here. And now I'll click Analyze. So it's correctly come up with 2 process maps, and it's going to put them in a clinical operations processes folder in my personal private space. So I'll click Generate. And for each process, it's generated 3 options. So I'm going to click View Folder to view all of them. So I'll go into this repeat prescription management process. And here you can see the chat that generated it and the process map here. So we'll say that I'm happy with this and I want to copy it to clinical operations. And again, you can see the process map published in the team space for clinical operations. So the final team space that I want to create is for governance and compliance. And for this, the client's given me a PDF of a standard operating procedure document, but he's instructed me that even though it includes 2 processes, he only wants 1 to be captured. So this is the SOP, and it has 1 process here on reporting, and then it has another one on complaint handling. So I'll go to import again, and I'll drag in the PDF. And this time I'll tell it to only create 1 process for complaints. So it's got the complaint process there, and I'll generate this process map. So it's generated 3 options. I'll view the folder to select one and move it into the team space. So I'll click on the chat. And now I'll copy this into the team space and publish it. Okay, so now I have my process maps ready to share with the client, and I'm going to share it with Adam by a PDF. And after this, I'll show you how Adam can actually log in and use the platform to manage processes for him and his team. But we'll assume for now that he just wants them as a PDF. So I've gone to export, and I'll click each process map that I want. And click Next. I'll put my consultancy's logo into the export so it'll show at the top. And you can see that in the preview here, and then I'll click Export. So I'll click on the PDF. And I can see my consultancy's logo on the first page. And then on the first page for this process, we can see the cycle time they entered earlier, and then the execution time aggregated that I entered earlier, because it was 10 minutes for one task and 5 minutes for another. And then on the next page, we have the process. And then on the next page, we have the next process description, and then the process itself, and so on. So that's the exported PDF. Now I'll show you the view that Adam can have if him and his team want access to the platform. So I'll log in as Adam now, and this is really useful to help processes actually live and carry on being updated after the first version, because it's so easy to do it with AI, it's actually much more likely that teams will do it. So I'll sign in as Adam now, and you can see here that because I only have viewer access, I don't have as many options as I did when I was signed in as Marcus. So for example, I don't have private spaces and I can't export and import, but I can click on a team space here and I can view the process maps that were moved here and published. So I can click on the process map here and I can see just the process map, not the chat that was used to create it, because I don't need to see that and I don't particularly want to. So this is useful for me so that I can see the processes for my team and my organization, and I can also update them over time. It's also useful for me as Jack, the owner of the consultancy, because I can more easily see processes that Adam is working on and offer future engagements with Adam. So that's the demo of BA Copilot. If you have any questions, just contact me on jack@ba-copilot.com, and it's free to try at ba-copilot.com.